was standing in a Zara store last year, walked past the perfume section, picked up a $20 bottle, sprayed it on my wrist, and stopped. This smells like a $300 perfume, so I started digging. And what I found completely changed how I think about the luxury perfume industry, because Zara isn't selling cheap knockoffs. They figured out something much smarter than that. Let's get into it. So first, a little context. Zara has carried fragrances for over 20 years. But for most of that time, nobody really took their perfumes seriously. They were just there, cheap bottles near the checkout, something you grabbed if you forgot your real perfume at home. That all changed in 2019. Zara approached one of the most respected perfumers in the world, Jo Malone CBE, and asked her to create an exclusive fragrance collection. Jo Malone spent more than a year developing 8 exclusive scents for the partnership. Now here's why this matters. Jo Malone isn't just any perfumer. She built Jo Malone London, one of the most recognized luxury fragrance brands in the world, sold it to Estee Lauder, then launched a second brand called Jo Loves. The woman has decades of expertise creating fragrances that sell for $200, $300, sometimes more. And she agreed to create perfumes for Zara, priced at $28. I'm not gonna lie. When I first read that, I genuinely couldn't believe it. The same nose behind $300 luxury fragrances, making something for $28. At Zara, now here's the business genius of what Zara did. And this is the part that I think most people completely miss. Jo Malone herself said her goal was to get people to ask you what you are wearing and being surprised to hear the answer is Zara. Think about that strategy for a second. She wasn't trying to hide that it was Zara. She was trying to make it so good that people would be shocked it was Zara. That's a completely different mindset from how most budget brands approach fragrance. Most cheap perfume brands ask, how do we make something that doesn't smell terrible for $20? Zara asked, how do we make something so good that it changes the conversation? The aim was to craft a collection that, while affordable, could still hold its own against high-end designer fragrances. And honestly, they succeeded. Beauty editors from Marie Claire, Grazia, and dozens of other major publications started writing about the Zara x Jo Malone collection. Not as a budget option, as genuinely great perfume. That's the moment everything changed for Zara's fragrance business. Now here's where the story gets even more interesting. Because this wasn't a one-time thing. After the massive success of the Emotions collection, Zara and Jo Malone collaborated again in 2021 on the Vibrant Cities collection. 8 fragrances, each inspired by a different city. London, New York, Dubai, Tokyo, Shanghai, Seoul, Venice, Madrid. Think about that business model for a second. Zara already has the stores, already has the customers, already has the distribution network spanning 96 countries worldwide. They didn't need to build a perfume brand from scratch. They just needed to bring in the right expertise. And by partnering with Jo Malone, they immediately got credibility that would have taken a new brand decades to build. This is actually the exact same playbook that H&M uses with luxury fashion designers. That Target uses with high-end architects for home collections. You use your distribution power to democratize something that used to be exclusive. And the customer wins every single time now. Here's what I find most fascinating about this whole story from a pure business perspective. Zara's parent company, Inditex, does not break out individual product category sales, so we don't have an exact number for how much their fragrance business makes. But here's what we do know. Zara operates in 96 countries, over 2,000 stores globally, millions of customers walking through those doors every single week. Even if just a small percentage of those customers pick up a $20 perfume, the numbers become enormous very quickly. And the margins on fragrance are significantly higher than on clothing. A $20 Zara perfume costs a fraction of that to produce. The markup is substantial. And unlike a dress that goes out of style, a good fragrance stays in rotation for years. Zara didn't just enter the perfume business. They entered it in the smartest possible way with one of the world's greatest perfumers, and built a product that genuinely delivers. That's not luck. That's strategy. Now here's my honest take. And I want to be real with you here. Does a $28 Zara perfume replace a $300 Jo Malone London bottle? No. And it's not trying to. The concentration is different. The longevity on skin is different. The complexity of the formula is different. But here's what I genuinely believe for most people. In most situations, the Zara version is more than good enough. You're getting Jo Malone's actual nose, her actual taste, her actual artistic vision. Just at a price point that doesn't make you wince every time you spray it. And that, honestly, is what the best business moves look like. Not copying luxury, not faking it, but genuinely delivering real quality through a smarter distribution model. Francois Coty did this in 1900. Made luxury perfume accessible to everyone. Zara did it again in 2019. The lesson is always the same. The best business move isn't always making something more expensive. Sometimes the smartest move is making something genuinely great and putting it where everyone can reach it. So that's the Zara perfume story. A fashion brand. A legendary perfumer. A $28 bottle that smells like it costs 10 times more. And a business lesson that honestly every entrepreneur should study. Distribution plus expertise equals disruption. Every single time. Now drop it in the comments. Have you ever tried a Zara perfume? And did you know about the Jo Malone connection before today? I read every single one. Subscribe, because next episode we're going inside the psychology of perfume ads. Why they never actually show the perfume, and how they've been playing with your emotions for decades without you even realizing. We'll see you, dear.